Hey friends, welcome back to our channel. I'm Naomi. If you're new here, we do a lot of, especially in the summer, garden preserving and doing all these things. And you can see from these 4 huge bowls, we've got a lot of tomatoes to take care of today. So what I'm going to do is take you along as I make some roasted spicy salsa. This was our family's favorite last year. So I'm going to try to recreate it and get it canned up. We've got peppers, you can see peppers, we got tomatoes, we got cayennes, we got jalapenos, lots of different tomatoes. I'm going to roast it all and make a normal salsa recipe, but with the roasted vegetables, and then I'm going to blend it. It was just, like I said, it was our family's favorite last year, and we're going to recreate it this year. So stick around, and I hope you enjoy the process. Okay, so I got all my tomatoes, peppers, everything washed. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to cut out the cores and the bad spots and cut them into manageable chunks. I am leaving the skins on, but I'm going to cut them into chunks about this big, and I'm just going to lay them. I have a pan right here. I'm just going to lay them in this, and I'm going to rotate between tomatoes and some peppers. Same with these. I'm just going to cut them into pretty good sized chunks like this, and just kind of just throw them in like this. And I'm just going to let everything roast together. I'm also going to add garlic and onions to this as well. And then they can all roast and get that good charred, color and taste on them. And I will get these in the oven to get roasted. I have this oven set at 425, and that's it. And I have jalapenos as well, but I'm going to do these last, and I'm going to wear gloves because every time I don't, I think I'm going to be okay, and I'm not. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to get these tomatoes. Some of these have some yucky spots on them. I waited too long to get these ready, but the flavor is probably amazing. So when I'm done roasting these tomatoes, I'm going to pull the skins off then. I've done it before. Hopefully it works really well this time. And then, yeah, this will just get in the oven, and the oven will do the work this time. But seriously, look how pretty. Look at the colors. Gorgeous. So I'm just going to keep doing that. The same thing with these onions, and I am not using measurements. I'm just doing what I did last year. Like I said, you want to follow a specific recipe, please, please, please do, to keep yourself safe. I will be adding quite a bit of vinegar to this, so the acidity will be high along with all these red tomatoes. I've never had a problem with it, but once again, you do use your own discretion. I will link some recipes that have been tried and tested. I don't want to, make anybody sick or anything. Like I said, we've never had a problem, but just to be safe. So I'm just leaving these onions in pretty big chunks and adding them on top of this bowl as well, like a half an onion. So far it looks like that. Beautiful colors. And I'm going to also add some garlic, if my garlic's good. Same thing with this. I'm just gonna, oh, my hands are sticking to everything. I'm just gonna cut the edge off and peel this guy and get him cut up into a couple pieces. I'm gonna add a good bit of garlic. So I'm gonna get him peeled. Garlic is so sticky. Ugh, it's sticking to my hands. Trying to get this done. We're supposed to have some pretty nasty storms tonight, so I'd like to, if I lose power, I'd like to have this done. And yeah, I just cut this like this, pretty big chunks, and I'm just gonna throw that in. So I'm gonna keep doing that, and then I'll show you it before I put it in the oven. So I'm gonna take my 2 poblanos from my garden and the 4 jalapenos from my garden and get them chopped and put in. My gloves aren't sticking on my hands. I'm going to wear gloves because I think every time I think, like I said, every time I think I'm not gonna burn my eyes or something, it happens. I do have more jalapenos and bell peppers in my freezer from last year. I do not have any more poblanos, so I'm just gonna use these. And like once I get this pan out of the oven, I'm actually going to blend it. So the poblano taste, whatever pepper I have, it will spread throughout the entire pan. And yeah, that's where we're gonna go from there. I also don't care if there's seeds. We like spicy things, so we just kind of leave it and it kind of crushes up. You know what? I'm going to put some of these in another pan. That's pretty full. About that size. Like this too. Alright, so this is what our pan looks like. So ready to go in the oven. Just kind of zhuzh it around a little bit. Get the flavors in there. And then I'm going to get this in the oven and I'm going to cook it till I see some nice charring on it. And I'll let you know how long that takes. So we'll go to that point. I've got 3 trays in the oven. Oh, I love these tomatoes. I'm just gonna fill this bowl up with the rest of the stuff. So when the other trays come out and cool, I can just dump this into the other trays and get them roasting. And I did weigh out a lot of this, so it will match up with the recipes that I leave below. That way, I know it's safe. I started overthinking it. Like I said, I've done it before, but I just want to make sure that everything I can is safe. So I will leave you the recipe below of what I went by to make this salsa. And I'm just going to get all this stuff chopped up. So I took you guys outside to pick some of these green onions. I'm going to get these washed. I need several of these for the recipe that I'm doing. It says 2 bunches. I'm guessing that's about that. And like I said, I'll leave it all below the exact measurement so you guys know, and we'll go from there. All right, so that's what I was looking for, all charred and good, and like the skins, once this cools, are gonna peel right off like this. So I'm going to allow this to cool off, and then once it's all cool, I'm gonna get this all into a blender with our just this. And then I'm gonna dump it in a big pot and start adding other ingredients, and I will show you that when we get there. All right, I took the 3 pans, I skinned off the tomato skins. They're here. I'm gonna get rid of these, and I'm gonna get this into a blender. And you can there's still steam coming off of it, but I think it'll be fine. I'm gonna, I have a Ninja blender, so I'm just gonna scoop this into here, probably like halfway full, and get this on the blender. About that full. I think that's good. I did drain some of the tomato juices off just so we'll have a thicker salsa, but I'm gonna get this on the blender. Alright, so I got them both blended. I don't know if you can see how thick that is, but I'm gonna pour it in slowly. That's the thickness we like right there. I'll show you it on the camera. But yeah, that's the thickness we like. And once the other ones roast, I still got a bit to do. I'll get it on the the other ingredients added. But yeah, that's about the consistency we like. My kids loved it last year. Usually I do a really chunky salsa, but this year I'm gonna do what they like, so we actually eat it all. And yeah, once the other things come out of the oven, I'll do the same, and then I'll show you how I make the rest of it. Back. So I'm doing day number 2 of making our salsa. Yesterday I forgot to buy, I didn't have in my stock tomato paste. So I had Adam stop at the store last night and get it. By the time he got back home, the storms were here. I mean, like here. We had lightning and wind, and a lot of people around us lost power. So I'm glad that I was able to get tomato paste, and today's this beautiful, glorious, sunny day. So we're gonna finish making our salsa. So come along with me as we finish this project. So I ended up doubling the salsa recipe. Like I said, I'll post it below. So I have 2 pots of salsa. I'm just gonna get these ingredients out and ready to go. And yeah, my cutting board needs some love. But let's get started on chopping and adding the rest of the ingredients. So it calls for, each batch calls for 2 bunches of green onions. These are from my garden. I washed and cleaned them yesterday. So I'm just gonna get them chopped and added to, I'm gonna try to add what is equivalent to 2 bunches to each pot. So each one of these batches needs a 1/2 cup of white vinegar and a 1/2 cup of balsamic. So I'm just gonna fill up the 1/2 here. And then 1/2 balsamic till I get to a cup. And then I'll just dump it in here like so. And then I'll do the same thing for the other one. 1/2 cup white vinegar. Half a cup of balsamic. That was just enough. All right, and then I'll get this in this other pan. And then I'll get the rest of the ingredients out and show you. Okay, so for each of these pots, take the lids off. Hopefully you can still see that. It requires 4 tablespoons of brown sugar and 2 teaspoons of chili powder. So I just dump that in each one. So for each one you need 4 tablespoons and 4 tablespoons brown sugar, 2 teaspoons of chili powder. It says juice of 3 limes. I'm just doing 1/4 cup in each one, like that. It calls for 1 large bunch of cilantro. I'm going to do, I did this on my channel, it's 1/3 cup each. So I'm gonna do 2 bags, so 2/3 cup in each pot. And get it out of the bag. So 2/3, and it's still frozen, but we have to cook this, so like that. Try to get it all out. And then each one needs, since I drained so much liquid out of this yesterday, I'm gonna do 4 cans of tomato paste instead of 6, just because I know it's gonna be thicker and I've done this before and it's worked out great. So I'm going to scrape out these cans and get 4. They're 6-ounce cans of tomato paste in each pot. Now that these ingredients are added to these 2 pots, I'm going to stir these and get them on the stove, and they need to come to a good simmer and simmer for like 25 minutes. And then I'll get my jars ready and clean up my area and just make sure we're ready to go. So let's get these on the stove. I did not add salt yet because I wanted to get these heated first, then add salt, and then I'll taste it from there. And then we'll get these dried up and canned. Okay, the salsa has been simmering for 25 minutes, and now I'm going to get it all jarred up. I have a chopstick for my debubbler. I have my funnel that I'm gonna put in here. I've got a rag with vinegar right here, my jars, and my jar grabber. So I'm just gonna get these filled. I did check all these jars. I washed them, made sure there was no nicks in them, because you don't want any kind of but breakage in your jars while you're canning. So I'm gonna fill this to like 1 inch headspace. Ooh. That's a bit much. Actually, no, that's good. And then I just take this and kind of stir it around, make sure there's no bubbles. And then I move on to the next one. Now I'm just gonna take my vinegar and my wet rag and just go around the edges of all these jars to make sure there's no sauce on them. They will not seal. Now I'm gonna put my lids on and my rings. All right, now I'm gonna set these aside and get the other layer. I'm gonna try to double stack these, and I'm gonna get them out of the canner and start filling them as well. Okay, so I've got, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 in here. I probably could fit one more in there, I might, but I'm gonna let these come to a boil. Then I'm gonna set my timer for 35 minutes for these pints. And then I still have this left. So probably another like half batch maybe. And if I can fit more in that other canner, I might save the rest just for my fridge. So yeah, I'll show you what they look like when they're done after the 35-minute water bathing processing time. All right, so these processed in the water bath for 35 minutes. I turned the heat off. I'm gonna let them sit for a couple minutes, and then I'm gonna get them out of this water and let them cool and seal. And we got a total of 17, I lied, 17 pints. So yeah, we'll get these out, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're all done. All right, I'm gonna get these out of the pots and get them. You want to sit them on something so it's not touching. I mean, my surface isn't very cold, but I like to put it on something so the jars don't get shocked and break. So thank you for joining me. I'm holding it with the pot holder. That's our salsa. I'm gonna let this cool for about 24 hours and I'll check all the seals tomorrow. Oh, they're pinging. And I will label them and get them in our pantry. Thank you so much for being here. Our little channel is growing, and we're just happy that you are taking time out of your day to watch our videos. It's humbling. So if you like these kind of videos, please like and subscribe, and we will see you next time with another video. Thanks for being here. Bye.